Kimberly, I just saw your text from this afternoon. Are you insane? Are you actually going to get married? I'm sorry, is there some kind of problem with that? It's not like this should be breaking news to you. I told you a while ago that I was seeing a guy and we were pretty seriously thinking about marriage. Don't dodge the issue. You're free to marry whoever you want. I don't care. The problem is the timing. I will not allow you to get married before your brother. Clark, but he doesn't even have a girlfriend right now. Then you'll have to put off your wedding for a year or two, however long it takes for Clark to get married. Once he's married, then you'll have my permission to get married yourself. However long it takes? Are you serious? Besides, every single time Clark has ever started dating a girl, you immediately come between them and force them to break up. Your brother has responsibilities as the heir to our family business. He's going to be the president of the company someday. I can't allow him to marry some rubbish woman from off the street. I won't allow him to marry any woman but one who is genuinely worthy of him. It's my duty as his mother to help him choose a suitable wife. Okay, so when you say however long it takes, what are we talking about? 5 years? 10 years? What? Who knows? However long it takes means however long it takes. All I do know is that you're not allowed to get married until Clark does. I know this probably doesn't matter at all to you, but I've talked to Clark, and he's completely fine with it. Oh my goodness. That Clark is such an angel. I'm sure it must have been so hard for him to say those words to you. He's so kind to be able to consider the feelings of even a pathetic failure like you. But it must have been killing him inside to hear that you were going to get married before him. Your brother's kindness aside, I'm the one who has the final say here, and I say no. That's final.
Hey, Kimberly. I just got off the phone with Mom. Guess you finally told her that you're getting married, huh?
Hey, Clark. Yeah, and just as expected, she was completely against it.
She's so determined that you can't get married before me. Even though the reason it's taken me so long to get married myself is because she keeps getting in the way whenever I find a woman I like.
Yeah, apparently she won't let you marry any woman who is undeserving of being the wife of a company president. Any idea what that means?
In short, it means that she won't let me marry any woman who won't do everything she says, how she says it, when she says.
Good grief. When did our mom become such a stereotypical overbearing mother-in-law? She's the kind of character you see in cheesy soap operas.
Right? My thoughts exactly.
Anyway, we're going ahead with moving the plans for the wedding along with the schedule, regardless of whether Mom approves or not.
Good for you. That's exactly what you should do. Besides, it doesn't matter anyway, since I'm already gonna get married before you.
Yeah. Wow, it's actually really impressive that you've managed to hide your girlfriend from Mom for so long.
I didn't have any choice. I know for certain that she's the only girl in the world for me. She's my soulmate, my life partner. I don't have a life without her in it. I'll do whatever it takes to marry her, no matter what it costs.
Well, I'm glad you found someone like that.
And the same to you.
Thanks.
Oh, by the way, it looks like Dad is finally making his move too.
Yeah, I heard. He's called me the other day to tell me about it. I'll bet there are gonna be a few bumps in the road ahead for us, but I'm 100% sure that there's happiness waiting for us on the other side.
Me too.
Kimberly, you've got some serious explaining to do. What's this I hear about you preparing for your wedding? I made myself very clear that you are not, under any circumstances, allowed to get married before your brother does. What is wrong with you? I am your mother, and you will do as I say. that you would show such disrespect to your own elder brother is disgusting. It's disrespectful to your father and I. It's disrespectful to the entire family. Not to worry, Mom. Everything's going according to plan. Clark will be married by the time my wedding rolls around. What do you mean? Oh, and just so you're not under any false impressions, this isn't happening because I decided I would obey your command about not getting married until Clark does. This is just how it happened to turn out naturally. You're talking nonsense. How can Clark get married? He doesn't even have a girlfriend. I've got a great idea. Why don't you go ahead and ask Clark directly about this instead of hearing it from third person from me? Ask him about what? He's been saying that he'd let you know once everything was in order, so I think he'll probably be fine with talking to you about it if you ask him. I gotta go now. We have a meeting with the wedding planner in a bit. Hold it right there, Kimberly. Talk to you later, Mom.
Hey, Mom. I understand that it's finally time for you and I to have a little talk.
Clark, please, tell me what on earth is going on. Your foul little sister is telling all sorts of bizarre tall tales. Like that you're getting married. That's ridiculous, isn't it? You don't even have a girlfriend. How could you get married? She couldn't be content with just being a failure of a daughter. She had to become a vile little liar too.
That's one of the things we need to talk about, Mom. I need an answer from you right now. Why'd you call Kimberly a failure? Why'd you treat her like a second-class child? She's pretty successful in her career. She's responsible, a good member of the community. I have no idea why you treat her the way you do, and I want you to tell me.
Why? Isn't it obvious? She never even went to college, and she didn't even go to a decent private high school, just some crummy local public high school.
Are you joking? Mom, you're the one who told her that you wouldn't pay for her to go to a private school. You forced her to go to that public school.
You, on the other hand, truly make me proud to be your mother. You went to the finest prep school in the county, and then to the finest private university in the state. And after graduating, you started working for one of the largest companies in the country. And what's more, you've started your own company that you're now the president of. Honestly, the two of you are so drastically different. It's hard for me to believe that you're even siblings. How could I not call her a failure? That's what she is.
Okay, well, I've had just about all I can take of that conversation, so if it's all right with you, I'll just move along to the next order of business. Mom, I got married.
You what? Oh, Clark, you're something special. Don't worry, you don't have to play along with Kimberly's delusions. We both know she's a compulsive liar. Don't worry at all about what that little failure thinks. You go ahead and take your time to pick the most perfect woman in the entire world as your wife. I'll be here to support you every step of the way.
Will you please listen? I really did get married to the secretary in my office. So no, Kimberly isn't lying about this.
You what? Your secretary? You mean the one with the glasses? The person who came to pick you up to drive you to the airport for your business trip. That secretary.
Yep, that's her.
That was the woman?
I guess I don't blame you for not realizing that. You've only seen her in her work attire. She always wears slacks and a jacket when she's at the office, and hey, she's pretty tall. So there are actually a lot of people like you who think she's a man at first. She may not seem the type, but she actually used to be a professional model in her teens. She's gorgeous. She dresses plainly like that on purpose to keep men from hitting on her and distracting her from work.
I don't believe this. How could you go over my head and pick a woman by yourself, Clark? I do not approve of this. Not one bit. How am I supposed to live together in the same house as a woman who dresses like a man? She'll completely ruin the mood of this house.
What are you talking about? We're not going to live together with you.
What?
I've told you before that I'm moving out of the house as soon as I get married. This shouldn't be news to you, and furthermore, you also knew that as soon as me and Kimberly got married, that you were going to move to the new house that Dad's building near where he's living for work right now.
But that place is out in some backwater town. They don't even have a Starbucks.
We talked about this over a long time, and you had accepted that, Mom. You're not going to go back on your promise now, are you? Don't tell me, is this the reason you've been interfering in our love lives for all these years? Have you just been trying to desperately cling to your cosmopolitan lifestyle as long as possible?
No, that's not it at all.
I'll take that as a yes. Moving on.
Clark, can I tell you something?
Nah, not interested. Like I said, moving on. I bet you've already heard this, but Kimberly isn't planning to invite you to her wedding. I think you might want to take some time to do some serious introspection on why that happened, and what you need to do to make it right.
Hello there, Kimberly. Today is your big day, isn't it? I bet you're excited. I prepared a big surprise for you. I hope you'll enjoy it. Well, Kimberly, what did you think of my big surprise? You were surprised, weren't you? Mom, what in the world was that? I was worried you might go and do something stupid, so I did have my guard up. But wearing all black to a wedding? Black hat, black dress, black coat, black shoes, you even painted your fingernails and toenails black. Yes, well, getting married to someone like you is practically a funeral, so I came to mourn for your poor, poor husband. And if I'm going to mourn, it only makes sense that I would dress for the occasion. This is what you get for being such a rebellious little brat. Is it really this fun for you to do everything in your power to sabotage your own daughter's wedding? Why? It doesn't make any sense. Your brother betrayed me and married a woman without my permission. And once you get married, I'm going to have to move away from a civilized society to live around a bunch of backwards country bumpkins who probably can't even spell the word university. Is that really all? I like living in the city, don't you get it? And now that I've brought your wedding to a halt, you're not getting married anymore. You'll be single forever. I'll see to that personally. Oh, and one other thing. Now that your brother has moved out, I'll need you to move in and take over for him. Without him around, this house is turning into a real mess, so you'll need to get ready to move as soon as possible. You are really oblivious, aren't you, Mom? We've been legally married for some time now. What? My husband and I were officially married just about a month ago after Clark got married. And I'm currently enjoying the newlywed life with my husband right now, so I'm afraid I don't really feel much like moving in with you. You what? And besides, the wedding is still on. No, that can't be. Well, to be more precise, the reception is still on, and it's going to start soon. Fortunately, there are no other parties who booked the reception hall today. We talked to the manager, explained the situation, and he's willing to give us a few hours extra for no charge. What a generous guy. I thought for sure it would have been cancelled. Once again, fortunately, we only planned a small wedding for the family members and close friends. They're all being very understanding, and they had no problems with continuing the ceremony right where we left off. I won't let that happen. I'm going to barge right through the doors of that reception hall and give you another piece of my mind. Mom, really? Are you 12? You're such a child. Excuse me? We requested additional security staff from the venue, so no, you're not getting into the reception. Don't even bother. You can go home now. You're no longer needed here. How dare you? You're kicking your own mother out of your own wedding? Do you actually think you're in any position to be acting so indignant right now? And not to mention, aren't you forgetting the position you're putting Clark in? What? What position? I could have sworn I told you about this. Maybe you just weren't paying attention. My husband's father is the president of the company that just so happens to be the single largest client of Clark's company. He is? I've explained our family circumstances to him, so he also had an idea you might be up to something. But to have the mother of the president of the company he pays millions of dollars to every year storm into the wedding of his own son, makes a massive scene, disturbs all the guests, and deliberately try to shut down the wedding? You have to understand, he's furious right now. Thanks to you, Clark was basically on his knees begging for his forgiveness for about 20 minutes straight. It was the most fervent apology I've ever seen. And you know who was right there alongside him? Dad. In the end, it was my husband who was finally able to calm him down. And after I explained in greater detail what kind of nutjob you are, his anger actually turned into sympathy for us. Do you have the slightest bit of remorse for almost single-handedly destroying your son's company? You had no idea. Plus, you can stop pretending. I know the real reason you don't want to leave the city. And honestly, I have to say it makes me ashamed to be your daughter. Kimberly, please, you've got to do something. Talk to your father for me. He's going to divorce me. Can you believe it? If you could just talk to your father and explain how this is really all your fault for disobeying me, I'm sure he'll understand. So you've got to call him right away, okay? Kimberly, answer me this instant. Your disgraceful behavior has ruined my reputation. Now everyone has turned against me. All of our family, my friends, even your brother. And it's all your fault. You need to fix what you did. Kimberly, pick up the phone. What an embarrassing display. Really, she just refuses to see reason. I bet she didn't even finish the conversation with my dad before she started bombarding me with texts and calls. Somehow, she's under the impression that it was what happened at the wedding that caused Dad to divorce her. But that's not actually the case. You see, my dad hired a private detective to look into Mom's activities. He was perplexed by how desperate my mom was to stay in the city, even going so far as to work overtime to prevent me and Clark from getting married. And what he discovered was that Mom was having an affair, or at least she was trying to. There's a man in one of her exercise classes who she's been flirting with non-stop for the last 5 years or so, but he hasn't been responding to her advances. It got to the point that she practically stalking him, and it seemed he finally had enough of her nonsense because he got a restraining order against her. So Mom ended up being divorced by her husband, disowned by her 2 children, and unceremoniously dumped by the man she had been pining after for 5 years. I guess Mom got her wish after all. Now she gets to spend the rest of her life in the city, although now she'll be doing it alone, in a quiet, rundown apartment on the bad side of town.
Hi, Stewart. How are you doing today?
Hi, Marta. I'm doing okay, just a bit tired from work.
Are you sure? You've been looking unwell for a while now.
Yeah, I'm sure. Just been under a lot of stress lately.
If you're not feeling well, you can tell me. I'm here to support you.
It's nothing, really. I'll be fine.
Stewart, I can tell when something is bothering you. Please talk to me.
Okay, fine. I've been having some chest pains and jaw pains. I've also been feeling nauseous. Did that help?
Oh no! Why haven't you told me about this sooner? That sounds darn serious given your heart condition already. We should get you to a doctor right now.
I don't know, Martha. I'm afraid of what they might find. On another note, I don't think it's anything serious.
Stuart, your health is more important than anything. Please, let me make you an appointment.
I don't think I'm ready to go to the doctor yet. Martha, I'll be fine. I just need some rest.
Stuart, please don't avoid this. Your health is so important, and if you're not well, we need to find out why.
I know, but I just can't deal with it right now. Can we please just drop it for now?
Fine, but please know that I am here for you and I want you to be healthy.
I know, Martha. Thank you.
Dr. Johnson, I hope you're well. I'm Martha, Stuart's wife, and I am really worried about him. I'm here to talk to you about my husband's health.
Hi, Martha. What's been going on with Stuart?
He's been having chest pains, jaw pains, and nausea for a while. I'm really worried. It's been going on for a few weeks now.
I see, Martha. I remember Stuart has a history of a heart disease. These symptoms could be a sign that his condition is getting worse. Have you noticed any changes in his medication regimen? Or, as he mentioned, taking any performance-enhancing pills?
No, he's still on the same medication that you prescribe.
Alright, I'll have to check on that and also look into any other medications he might be taking. Sometimes these symptoms can be caused by interaction between different drugs, and such drugs might prove fatal.
I had no idea. I'll make sure to ask him about it.
That would be great, Martha. In the meantime, I want you to schedule an appointment for Stuart to come in and see me as soon as possible. But also, I will ask you to keep an eye on him and find out if he has been taking any medication that he might not be telling us. It could be crucial for his treatment.
Of course. Thank you, Dr. Johnson. I'll make sure he comes in and I will be sure to keep an eye out for any other medication.
I understand your concern and we will do our best to help Stuart with his condition. Keep me updated on his symptoms and any new information to find out.
Milana. Sister, can you believe it? That little homewrecker Cynthia is killing my husband. Wow, slow down, Martha. What are you talking about? That is a serious accusation, Martha. Are you sure she's doing that? Stuart's been feeling really weak and breathless lately. He's been acting strange lately, complaining about chest pains and feeling sick all the time. But when I ask him to see a doctor, he always makes excuses about work. And I just know it's because of her. She's probably been giving him some kind of performance-enhancing drugs or something. Oh, Martha, I'm so sorry. I know you've known about her for a while now, but it's still hard to hear. It's not just hard. It's infuriating. That woman has no right to be messing with my husband's health like this. I've been patient with him all these months because I love him, but I can't stand by and watch him destroy himself. I'm going to talk to him and find out what's going on, even if it's hurt. I have a plan and I will confront him with full effects this time. I understand how you feel, Martha. Just be careful and remember that Stuart is still your husband and you love him. I do love him, but that doesn't mean I'm going to let her get away with this. I won't stand idly by and watch him suffer because of her. I know, love, but do not let your anger get the better of you on this. You have to trust that he will make the right choices for his health. Make sure he knows how much you care about him and how much you want him to be well. Thank you for your advice, sister. I will make sure I do that. Hey, Stuart. I hope you're doing well right now. I just wanted to let you know that I made an appointment for you to see the doctor next week.
What the hell, Martha? I told you I'm fine and you go and make an appointment without my permission?
I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure you're okay. You've been complaining about chest pains and feeling sick lately, and I'm worried about you.
I don't need you to make decisions for me. I can take care of myself.
I know you can, but I just want to make sure you're okay. I'm going to be out of town for a week visiting my sister, and I want to make sure you're taken care of while I'm gone.
Fine, I'll go to the damn appointment, but don't think this is going to be a regular thing. I don't need you mothering me.
I'm sorry. I just love you and want to make sure you're okay.
Caught us red-handed, huh, Martha? You really outdid yourself this time, telling him that you were at your sister's for a week and then sneaking around and catching us in the act. I'm impressed. But how did it feel when you saw me kissing your husband? I'm assuming it was pretty embarrassing for you.
Embarrassing? No. It was actually quite satisfying to see the truth of your actions laid bare. You may have fooled Stuart, but you certainly haven't fooled me.
Please, you're just jealous because Stuart chooses me over you. He's always been drawn to a younger and more exciting woman like myself.
Younger and more exciting? Is that what you call slipping him dangerous drugs to enhance his performance? That's not love. That's manipulation and deceit.
You have no proof of that. You're just making accusations. Stuart is mine now and there's nothing you can do about it.
Proof? I have the bottle of pills you've been giving him, and I've already taken them to Dr. Johnson's for analysis. He's confirmed they're highly dangerous and could have killed Stuart. You're lucky I got to him before it was too late.
You bitch! You had no right to go through our things. Stuart will never believe you. He loves me.
Love? You don't know the meaning of the word. You're just a home wrecker, and now you're a probable murderer too. I'll make sure the whole world knows what kind of person you truly are. You're delusional if you think you're going to win this.
We'll see about that, won't we? But in the meantime, thanks for the entertainment. It's not often I get to have such a thrilling cat and mouse game.
I am so sorry, Martha. I can't go on like this anymore with the guilt. I never meant to hurt you. Please forgive me.
I know, Stuart. I've known about Cynthia for a while now. I kept my quiet because I loved you and didn't want to embarrass you. All these months I believed that you will just part ways with her yourself, but you didn't.
I wish you would have confronted me in another way. Why did you have to catch me in bed with her? God, I deemed that humiliation, but please forgive me.
I do better than forgiveness, Stuart. I love you, and because of that I had to do it that way. It was the only way I could prove that she was poisoning you, that she was slipping something into your drinks to make you more aroused, but it was also slowly killing you. I just want you to be safe and healthy, Stuart.
What do you mean? Poisoned? How could you possibly know or say that?
She gave you a pill for sexual performance every time you met her, without you knowing. I stole that medication from the dinner table that day when I confronted you both. I knew it would be out in the open, given that she didn't see anyone around to notice it. Anyhow, I took you to Dr. Johnson for examination. He found out that it was indeed fatal for your health, and moreover, he said it was evil for someone to be slipping it to you. See, that's the report.
So that was the reason for my chest pains and shortage of breath. My God, I can't believe it. I'm so sorry, Martha. I had no idea. Thank you for saving my life while what I only did was break your heart. All those tuition fees for her college, all that jewelry, for that skank to poison me. I deserve it for cheating on you. From now onwards, I promise I would love you for the rest of my life without any unfaithfulness.
We will let the time decide that.
You think you've won, really? You haven't, Martha. I'll always come out on top, no matter what you do.
Threatening me won't solve your problems, Cynthia. I suggest you focus on finding a way to pay for your tuition now that Stuart has cut you off. Find another man to destroy, maybe.
Haha! You think you're so clever, don't you? You're the reason my education is stolen away from me. Do you have any idea how much trouble you've caused me?
Oh, I'm sorry that my actions have caused you trouble, but that's the consequence of your actions. You should have thought about the consequences before you decided to poison my husband.
You're lucky I can do anything to you right now. But just know that I'll always find a way to come out on top, no matter what happened. You haven't seen the last of me, Martha.
I'm not afraid of your empty threats, Cynthia. I'll always do what's best for my family, and I'll never let someone like you hurt us again. Milana, please speak up. It's urgent.
Martha? What's wrong?
He's gone, Milana.
What do you mean? Who's gone?
He's gone, Milana. Stuart is dead.
Oh my God! Martha! What happened?
A heart attack. It happened so suddenly. I can't believe he's gone.
I'm so sorry, Martha. I'm on my way over.
I can't do this alone, Milana. I need you here with me.
I'm coming, Martha. Hang on, just hang on.
I can't believe he's gone. I can't believe it.
I'm here for you, Martha. I'll be there soon. Just hold on. I know it's hard, but try to stay strong. You have to be strong for yourself. You loved him and he loved you. You will always have that.
I don't know how to go on without him. He was my everything.
I know, but you will find a way. You're a strong woman. You will get through this. Though, I didn't mean to bring it up, but were those pills by Cynthia the reason for Stuart's death?
Of course they did. I knew something was wrong with his health even after he left that skank. And now it's too late to even do anything about it. Stuart is dead because of her, and she will pay.
I'm so sorry, Martha. I can't even imagine what you must be going through right now.
I'm beyond grief, Milana. I'm consumed by anger and rage. I will make sure that Cynthia pays for what she has done. She will not get away with this.
I understand, Martha. Just try to take care of yourself right now. You need to grieve and process this loss.
I will grieve, Milana, but I will also make sure that justice is served for Stuart. He's dead. Are you happy now, you skank?
Oh, looky here. Who just unblocked me? By the way, thanks for the good news.
You whore. You're responsible for my husband's death.
Oh, please, don't act so innocent. Your husband was nothing but a horny old bag who couldn't control himself. He literally took every pill I gave him.
How dare you speak about him like that? You will be held accountable for his death. You poisoned him. You killed him.
Oh, I didn't kill him. I just helped him along a little bit. And now, thanks to him, I'll be living a very comfortable life. I have a copy of his will here, and it seems that all of his property will now be mine. And I'll be on my way over to take possession of it with my lawyers.
What? That can't be true. He would never do that.
Believe it, sweetheart. Your husband was weak, and I took advantage of that. Now it's time for me to reap the benefits.
You won't get away with this. I'll make sure the whole world knows what you have done.
Go ahead. I'll see what you gain by your proceedings.
You are a monster.
And you're a fool for not seeing this coming. Bye-bye, Martha. What happened? Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. First, Stuart is dead, and now everything we had is going to be taken away by that whore, Cynthia.
What do you mean?
She sent me a copy of Stuart's will, and it turns out he left everything to her. All the property, the money, everything.
That's ridiculous. Did she say she's coming now?
Yes, please help me.
Let me make some calls. I'm not a journalist for nothing.
Milana, are you there? Answer, please. She might be just around the corner now.
Milana texted back after 2 minutes break. Look outside your window. Do you see a red TV channel van?
Yes.
Open the door now. I'll be there in a while. Tell them your story. Show them the screenshots. Let them know so they can broadcast how big a devil Cynthia is, and then let her come. Her arrival will only prove you to be right before the world and cameras.
Thanks, Milana. Can't be grateful enough. You did so much so quickly. Because of you, my children won't be robbed today.
Oh, it's nothing. Plus, thank you for giving me a story. We journalists are always on the lookout for such events. Conclusion. Cynthia, as she entered the house, she was met with the sight of Martha standing tall and proud before a throng of journalists. Martha had revealed to the media the truth about Cynthia's actions, how she was responsible for the death of Stuart, and now the story was being broadcasted far and wide on television. Cynthia felt the weight of the world crashing down upon her. She was humiliated, her actions exposed before the eyes of the world. The reporters were relentless in their questioning, throwing cruel and hurtful words her way. Her head dropped in shame as she retreated, unable to face the onslaught of accusations and condemnation. Martha Stewart found a letter at the bedside of her late husband. In it was written his renewed will, and the truth about that had happened. Now that the matter was public, this letter served her good in court and in finances.
The letter openly advocated the husband's love for his wife and the revelation about Cynthia's perilous plans. Cynthia was shattered, both publicly and legally. She would serve a sentence of lifetime for playing a part in bringing about Stewart's death. The renewed will proclaimed openly that Stewart's property was to go to his family, apart from one half that would be reserved for charity.